Your phone buzzes and your stomach drops before you even see the name. You already know. You always know. And before you've even said hello, you're already reaching for the words that will fix whatever's broken this time.
You've become the person everyone calls when something breaks. The breakup, the diagnosis, the fight with a parent, the 2 a.m. spiral. They call you first because you always answer and you always know exactly what to say. You earned that. Years of showing up built it, one crisis at a time. Every time someone needed steadying, you were the ground under their feet, and you never once let them see you shake. But somewhere along the way, being reliable stopped feeling like a choice. It became who you are, so completely that nobody in your life has ever wondered, out loud, who's steadying you?
People tell you all the time how lucky everyone is to have you. I don't know what I'd do without you, they say, and you smile because it's meant as a compliment. It doesn't feel like one anymore. It feels like a job description you never applied for, renewed every time someone leans on you and you don't say no. Nobody praises the nights you wanted to say, I can't right now. Nobody sees the version of you that almost let the phone ring out. They only ever meet the version that answered, so that's the only version they know how to need.
One night, you're too tired to answer. You let it ring, telling yourself you'll call back in the morning. By 7 a.m., the guilt has already won. You call and apologize, as if their bad night was somehow yours to have prevented. Nobody notices how strange that apology is. You've trained everyone, including yourself, to expect you at full capacity, always. And the one night you weren't becomes the thing you now owe them for.
Then one night, it's your turn. Something happens in your own life, something that actually needs you present. You reach for the version of yourself that shows up for everyone else. It isn't there. You search for it, like checking a bank account you didn't realize you'd already drained. You get through it anyway, because you always do. But some part of you notices, for the first time, that showing up for yourself takes something you no longer seem to have enough of.
Then it reaches the one person who's supposed to get the real you. They ask how your day was, and you hand them the version you'd give a stranger. Fine, long, nothing new. Not because you're hiding something, but because there's nothing left to hand over. You gave the real version to someone else's crisis hours ago. One night, they say it gently, not as an accusation. It just feels like you're never fully here anymore. They're not wrong. You just didn't realize how much of yourself was already spoken for before you walked through the door.
Your chest tightens before you even answer the phone now. You feel relief, not warmth, when a call goes to voicemail. Your body has started keeping score long before your mind was willing to admit there was a score to keep. Psychologist Charles Figley, who directs the Traumatology Institute at Tulane University, spent decades studying this exact exhaustion in nurses, therapists, and first responders, people who absorb pain for a living. He called it compassion fatigue, a slow erosion that happens not because you stop caring, but because you never stop. Later research found the same pattern far outside any job title. You don't need a badge to develop it. You just need to be the one who always shows up for long enough without anyone showing up for you.
That's the part nobody warns you about. It doesn't arrive as burnout. It arrives as flatness. A friend calls crying and you say all the right things, watching yourself say them from somewhere outside your own body. Then bad news comes for you, the kind that used to break you open completely, and you feel strangely still, almost nothing. You used to think you were just good in a crisis. Now you're starting to wonder if you've simply run out of the feeling required to have one. One day, a friend asks how you are and actually waits for the real answer. For 1 second, the truth sits right there in your throat. And then the old reflex catches it first. You don't want to be a burden. Not after being the steady one for so long that it became your entire identity. So you swallow it. You say you're fine and ask how they're doing instead. The pattern holds one more day because giving has always been easier than finding out what happens if you finally ask to receive.
Maybe you were the child who learned that love had to be earned by being useful. Maybe you just turned out to be good at it, and good at it became all you were ever asked to be. Either way, caring for everyone else became the only shape you knew how to show up in. You are allowed a shape that isn't useful. You are allowed to need something back sometimes, without having to earn it first. Human after all.